I've got insulation in my driveway. The reason it's there is because my neighbor informed me that he was going to be throwing it away if I didn't want it. And of course I want it. I'm a scrounger. Things don't always have to be brand new to work. They can be free and used and work just like the brand new stuff. So anyway, so I've got this insulation. I had it outside. It rained hard the night that I got it. I let it dry for a week or so, turned it over every day or two, and then it rained again. So I did the same thing again. Finally, it is dry enough to roll up and stick in the attic portion of my art studio. And I'm having to roll it up tight so it can fit in this little hole that I cut. So that's the plan for the next half hour or so. Then I'll get on to something else. This space was already insulated when we bought the place with a grand total of about 4 inches of batting. We added about, I'd say about 16 inches of the ground up newspaper type cellulose insulation, and now I've been just utilizing any kind of free insulation I can. Any added insulation is always a good thing. It always adds to the comfort level in the house. It's a really cheap way to get more comfortable in the wintertime and in the summer. I'm taking the paper off because I'm stacking it on top of the insulation that's currently in the attic, and I don't want the trapped moisture to condense on the waterproof paper. So I'm taking it off so the moisture can dissipate and leave with the drier air. It's a good thing. Alright, well that wasn't so bad. I'm not going to spread it out right now because I've got other projects to do, but at least now it's up there. It's not going to get rained on anymore, and even though it's not spread out, it'll still do a little bit to help with the insulation. Now I've got to get a chicken out of the garden and then onto another insulation project. Alright, I've actually taken a quick lunch break, and now I'm going to take care of this problem right here. I shouldn't say problem, it's just that we've had those there for quite a long time, kind of staged in a staging place for me to put them on the roof or utilize them in the walls or somewhere where we need insulation. Just other things happen on the homestead. There is always something that needs to be done, and we always have to kind of triage things. Certain projects and certain plans fall to the back burner a lot of times while we attempt to put out the fires, so to speak. But anyway, I got these 4-inch thick insulation panels from a local metal recycling yard, and they were practically giving them away. They're quite cheap because they're only selling them for the price of the metal which is on them, which is just thin aluminum. These are actually pieces from an old walk-in freezer, and the people who owned the factory, I guess, just went out of business and sold off everything just for scrap metal prices, and we benefit because the recycling company places no value on the insulation, and that's actually the only part I want, so I can actually sell off the aluminum back to the company, or I can utilize it somewhere on the property, use it for roofing repairs or something. Even if I don't get any actual project done today, this is a project in itself, and it will make our yard look cleaner, so that's a good thing too. Alright, here we go. This is not quite as good insulation as the polyisocyanurate, or polyiso, that's currently on the house. I was very, very fortunate indeed to find such a good deal on that stuff. You can see what that looks like right here. But it is R7 per inch, whereas this stuff here, this seems like it's more like the kind that you'd get in a spray can, or a spray foam, great stuff or whatever. So this is probably closer to R5 per inch, which is still pretty good. But since it's not quite as good as that stuff, I'm going to save the nicer stuff for the higher parts of the house, places where there's going to be more heat leaking out. The massive weight of the interior concrete really regulates those summertime temperatures and keeps it cool inside. So what we're really battling here in Idaho is the cold in the wintertime. So I'll take those off, use those. They're more expensive, they're higher value up on the roof where they're gonna be better utilized, and put these on there and stucco around these, put metal around those as I move them to the roof, and life will be great. Some of you may be cringing at the fact that I'm tearing apart these perfectly good things that could be used to make a walk-in freezer or some other structure. And to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of cringing too, but I'm utilizing them in the best way that I possibly can for my situation. If you had them, you'd probably use them different, or maybe you wouldn't use them at all. So I'm eager to get more, and perhaps if I have enough to do the house first, which is the top priority, then I can manage to build an insulated shed and leave these intact the way they are and just weld them together, or whatever needs to be done. Well, I'm done. There's my pile, and I'll show you what I'm doing next. So now I'm putting them up on the roof in preparation for for placing them on the gable end that's up here on the other side, around the corner. And I think I'm going to call it a day. So, hope you had a fun time watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Please join us again tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye.